Hello everyone. I would like to start the international webinar with the quote that is worldwide animal agriculture emits more carbon dioxide any other single source. So for starting a new chapter of learnings, I Anshai, being your host for today's event, want to extend a warm welcome and very good evening to all of you present here. And I hope you all are doing amazing. On behalf of the whole SEMS family, I welcome you all for today's webinar, international webinar on the topic environmental ethics. And add our guest of honor and today's speaker, Dr. Monica Bajaj. Ma'am, it's a great honor to have you with us, and we are thankful for your presence.
Thank you. Thank you.
Also, I see quite a number of people are joining us. Before I proceed, let me take a brief moment for the introduction of my organization. SEMS. SEMS Welfare Foundation is a non-profit entity established to work in the areas of education, social welfare, women empowerment, skill development, and entrepreneurship, livelihood generation, and employability, health, research, culture, international cooperation, sports, environmental protection, or any other similar sectors also. We promote healthy lives and a balanced and active community and strong business. Now, let me introduce today's speakers to you all, Dr. Monica Bajaj. Today's award of his expertise is that Dr. Monica Bajaj is an associate professor in MIER College of Education at Autonomous Jammu, a hardworking individual with the passion of teaching. She has more than 16 years of teaching experience. She has published more than 25 research papers and books chapters in various national and international journals and books. The area of her research work is learning environmental education, and science education. She has guided more than 15 students for their research work at master's level. She has love for environmental conversations too.
Thank you, sir. And it is a wonderful pleasure, to be here. I am greatly thankful to you people for just have me over this talk. So thank you so much, everyone, and good evening to all the audience and everyone present here. So first of all, I would like to say today is World Environment Day, and I wish everybody happy Environment Day. So as I came to know, you people are interested to host one webinar. So I have chosen this particular topic and specifically the day. The reason was because this topic is very close to my heart. I have seriously love for environment, for its conservation. So that's why I have chosen the topic environmental ethics. So my title is environmental ethics. The first of all, the word ethics, it means what is wrong, what is right. And in day-to-day life, everybody needs to follow the right things, not about the wrong things. In every home, I think everybody says, okay, follow right, and follow right only. Nobody says go for the wrong things. Same is the case with the environment. In the morning, when I wake up, I have seen the status on the WhatsApp, on the Facebook pages, every social site was saying Happy Environment Day. So that day is for single day, is it okay? So in my personal view, I consider that every day should be Environment Day, and that can be only possible if we follow some ethics. That means we have to follow certain right things for saving our environment. Now these days, everybody is climatic changes are happening in Delhi. You people might have witnessed in the month of June, May or June, there used to be extreme summers. The temperature is on high side, but for the last week it is decreased because of some western disturbances. So why is it happening? Because we people are just depleting the environment. For that only, for saving that kind of things only, we need to follow the ethics. We always say this earth, the planet earth is our mother, because it is providing us everything. This is the only planet where life supporting system is available. And what is this life supporting system? This is air, water, and soil. It is providing us everything. This is the planet earth only. There is no other planet, although scientists are very much eager to go to Mars. People are buying lands over Mars. They are spending so much that we will be going on the Mars in next 2 decades. But it is not possible. It is still a question mark that are we be able to go to Mars? No way. So we have to protect our mother Earth. This earth is providing us everything, like we are getting air. It is essential for our survival. It is providing us food. It is also essential for our living. It is providing us fossil fuel. Our energies are coming from this earth only. We are getting water only on the earth's surface. We are getting ultimate source of energy, that is sun energy. The every day we feel like, okay, we are getting something, and that is only because of the earth resources. This is our mother. If we can respect our own mother, like who has given us birth, same way this earth is providing us all the essentials. Without that, we cannot survive. So if earth is providing us so much, then why we are worried? Why we are celebrating this Earth's Day, Environment Day? Why there is need to celebrate this particular day? If I show you one picture, like this is the picture. One left side is green and blue, and sunlight is very pleasant, and on the right side you can observe the darker side, that is black. Everywhere it is smoke, it is polluted water, it is, there is no greenery in the right picture. If I question you all that which side do you like the most, so I am damn sure you people will say we are liking the left side because it is green, it is giving us pleasure, it is like worth seeing. The right side picture, we are not we are not comfortable with the right side picture of this earth. During summer season, I have seen, or even we people also follow the same, we go for vacations, and every time we prefer to go, nobody is interested to go to Delhi or any other like such areas where you will find the high temperature. You will find, okay, we will go to Malali, we will go to Kullu, or we will go to Shimla and any other place where you will find the greenery, where you will find the pleasant weather, where there will be no noise, where there will be no like pollution. So why do we like these kinds of things? So we have to focus on this. Why we are going to those places? If we cannot have those kinds of places here, so why we are shifting to other places? This is a big question, which is a reason for worry. We want, everybody wants peace, but nowhere it is peace. This is the reason, and we the biggest reason behind this, the population growth. This is the biggest reason for the depletion of our environment. And we are everybody is residing in the urban areas, and nobody is interested to go to the reside in the village area. The reason is because there is every time growth is in the cities area, but nowhere is peace, nowhere fresh air, nowhere you will find the energy. So that is the biggest reason. Our population is the biggest reason for the depletion of earth. What it is affecting on our earth? Global warming is there. Every day temperature is increasing. Now the coming month will be disaster for the North Indian people. That will be a disaster because extreme summer will be there. Temperature is on the higher side. Our natural resources are depleting. Earth is providing us so much, but we are depleting. If not required, then also we are saying, okay, no, ane do, ane do, ane do. So that is depletion. We are releasing many of the sulfur oxides, many of the carbon dioxide and nitrogen oxides in the atmosphere. Ultimately, it is resulting into the acid rains. Ultimately, it is resulting into the pollution in the air, pollution water, and even our soil is now not pure. We are growing crops over the soil, but it is also mixed with some many of the pollutants, ultimately reaching to our body. Our health is deteriorating day by day. We are generating waste at a, you can say, biggest amount. You cannot say like mere ghar se. I hope everybody is understanding Hindi also. And she's
Yes, ma'am.
like
They can
okay.
understand Hindi.
Okay, thank you so much. So we are generating waste every day from our houses, from our business areas, social sites, where we are throwing it. If we, I say, like taking example of Delhi only, like now it is a little bit changed, but for last, I think in 2013, I went to Delhi for some workshop. I passed by River Yamuna, and that was totally black. That is disastrous. The river, which is considered as holy river, that was totally black because all the pollutants were released into the river Yamuna. Then the sideways area. the big, huge amount of garbage is laying near the river. What is it is? It is the waste which is coming from our households, which is coming from our commercial sites, from industries. This is going to be disaster for our health. Pollutants are just entering into our body. And one of the biggest reason for this, our population. And again, we are destroying the forest cover. We need bigger buildings. We need big infrastructure. We need developmental activities on the coast of this forest cover. The forest cover inhales maximum of the pollutant. But what we are doing, we are making the lands barren. We are just constructing more and more of the buildings. We are making the soil concrete. So that is not a good sign for the environment. These are the effects which everyone is observing, but not even a single thought for that what will happen in our future. I have seen one advertisement in my childhood time on DD channel. It was like broadcasted. One of the child, he is going with his father in to the school, and they are on some red signal. Definitely on red signal, the car will be stopped, and the ignition of the car was on at that time. The child says to his father, Papa, I will open one bicycle shop. And this was like eye-opening ad at that time. He says, like, I will open the bicycle shop. And definitely, we all are educated, and we don't want that our child should go for a small kind of work, although no work is small. But his ears was like, oh, what are you saying? Why you are being sent to any big school? Why you are interested to go for opening the bicycle shop? So he says to his father, like, you are using petrol at a greater pace. Nature does not have so much. And if you will use everything, then what will you leave for us? Then ultimately, we need to move to the bicycle. So that time, business will flourish like anything. So that's the reason I want to open bicycle shop. This was eye opener for everyone, that if we are using this much, then what will we are saving for our future generation. The small sparrows, might be you many of you have seen that small sparrow, but seriously, now our children are not able to see. It is available only in the books. As for sparrow, the picture is available, but it is not in the real. We have seen that sparrow that comes to our used to come in our houses, and we used to enjoy it by their sounds, but now they are vanished. That is because of mobile towers. What we are doing, we are just depleting that. We are losing our biodiversity. That is not good. And we are celebrating environment day. For what environment day? If on the daily basis we are depleting it, and on single day we are going to just do this kind of work, that is not acceptable. So we need to think forward. That's the reason we need to worry for it. And for that, we have to follow environmental ethics. We have to move our wrong acts to the right acts. So our earth, like our mother, it needs our help. It needs our help. It needs our attention. It needs our serious help. What will be my role? I am saying it is like my role. I have not written what is your role, because I am also one of the individual. I am also releasing some of the carbon footprint. I am lecturing on this issue, but still I also sometimes release carbon footprint. So that's my role. Everybody has to consider this earth is our own. They have to take it at their, like, this is my own. Like I give one example to everyone. Like if we buy something and it is very soft, or you can say breakable, we keep it in the corner. We don't keep that thing in the center of the house, because we are also worried, okay, ये टूट जाएगी, तो हम उसको प्रिजर्व करके एक कॉर्नर पे लगाते हैं. So same way, if we are thinking and we are seeing that earth is breaking down, we need to protect it. So for how we can protect it, just reduce our own carbon footprint. We have to follow some eco-friendly rules. We have to follow eco-friendly activities. We have to do these kinds of activity. It's not only for the lecturing. We have to do it. And there are small kind of things. When I am speaking, like, you people just imagine or recall that, yes, are you doing it at your home, or seriously not doing. So just the ethics means you have to follow certain rules. You have to do it at your home. By doing only small kind of these gestures, you can protect your earth. You can save your environment for your future generation. Simple task, that is plant a sapling, because a big tree releases 23 kgs of oxygen. 23 kg of oxygen. If we go to any of the medical, you can say, hospital, and God forbid anybody requires any gas cylinder, it costs too much. And our environment, it is releasing 21 plant, single plant is releasing 23 kgs of oxygen. So can't we plant any of the sapling? Now this is, it is a trend. We can have plants for beautification. If you have lawns, that is good enough. You can plant any of the sapling in the lawn area. But if you don't have, we have many of the DIY activities. We can have small pots in our balconies. We can have small pots and small such kind of plants which can absorb many of the toxins. We can keep it in indoor. We can have a very good amount of uh, inhalation of that toxins by the plants. So we need to plant that sapling, and definitely not only planting but adopting that tree. Like I teach in education college, and there is one important component. They have kept one important activity in the, that when we are entering into the college, one activity, plant a sapling and maintain it. So as student enters, they plant one sapling, maybe at their homes only, but at the end of the closure of the session, means after 2 years, they have to showcase what growth has taken place in that plant, how you maintained that, how you nurtured that, what fruiting, if it is fruit plant, what fruits came, if flowering, then what flower come, if it is ornamental, then what type of growth it is having. This is not kept like, okay, just plant a sapling. This is the reason, because our environment is degrading. By doing small kind of this gesture, at least we have planted one sapling, and it is releasing oxygen in the atmosphere. That is one task we everyone can do at their homes. We should not fall any of the trees in the forest cover. And if it is, suppose we are constructing any new building or any house, if any big tree is coming in between, so just try to find out some alternative. If you will Google, you will find many of the pictures where people have done such kind of activities. They have just created the structure like this, that plant was not harmed any more. So that kind of activities, little gestures we can do. We can have ornamental plants, small herbs, small shrubs, small kind of saplings we can grow around the house. It will definitely decrease the temperature. So decreasing the temperature means your ACs will work less. You need not to go for the electricity bill at the higher cost. So that is the thing we can go for. And if we have lawns or gardens, definitely we should go for greenery. That is giving us pleasure. It cool us. There is one, you can say, in plants and in soil, there is one element which reduces our stress level. That is proven, you can say, study. So that soil has that kind of thing which can reduce the stress also. So we can make it as our one of the hobbies. So we need to conserve greenery. The second important component is water. And I think without water, we cannot live for more than 2 to 3 days. And in summers, so less than that kind of. But still, we don't use it judicially. Is it good? No way. It is not good at all. So we have to go for the judicious use of water. As one example, if I need one glass of water, if I require full glass of water, I should take it. If I require half glass of water, we should reduce the amount of water which I am taking from my any of the filter or RO or any from anywhere else. What do? We use, we have to take only half glass of water, but we fill it completely, and we throw the water in the sink. Where does it go? It goes to only sewerage. That is a problem. A small child can be taught for this. Take that much amount what you require on. So that habit can be generated in the child from the very early stage. And habits, you can well understand, if we create that habits, it will go on, and that will definitely save the water, save the environment. Now these days we have flushing toilets, flushing systems, and in market we have systems available that is of 2 to 3 types. If require less amount of water, that is available. If the same way you require more water in systems, that is also available. So we can go for that. We people used to take bath under showers, and I think in advertisement and everywhere it is told showers are just wastage of water. So we can avoid these kinds of things. This is small gestures. Just think for that your children will not get the same kind of thing as you are enjoying. But sustainability says that we have to use it for in the present, but also save for the future. So don't think for anybody else. Just think for your own children. So then only you can save the water. So we use washing machines, whether it is fully automatic or semi-automatic, but we just keep the tap on and forget. Okay, let it be running. Water is going in the wastage, let it be. कौन सा हमारे को बिल आ रहा है कुछ ज्यादा, एंड पानी तो गवर्नमेंट फ्री का ही बांट रही है वन सॉर्ट ऑफ. बट वन एरिया इन there is one place in MP, I think so, that is Latour. There is extreme shortage of water. There is extreme shortage, like birds die in summer season. People have to wait for water and in a long queues. If suppose this is the scenario in our cities area, what will happen? That is very wrong. In Delhi also there is a problem. In our Jammu also, in some of the areas there is problem of water. So sometimes it is not coming for 2 to 3 days, and that is only because we have shortage, and people are just wasting it. Wherever it is going in flow, that they are wasting it. So that is small kind of gesture. We can, if we can own the tap, we can also switch off that tap. That is important. If there is leakage, and for leakage also I give you one example. If it is in our kitchen, and suppose it is in the leakage in water is going in the sink, it is not harming us or it is not flowing on the floor, then okay, let it be. जाने दो, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. We will call the plumber after, जब हमें time लगेगा. But if it is falling on any floor and there is chance of accident कि हमारा पैर slip हो जाएगा, then we will definitely call the plumber. So that we need to think. If whether बूंद बूंद से सागर भरता, ये आई थिंक हर किसी ने सुना होगा. एंड दैट आप कभी ऑब्जर्व करके देख लीजिएगा कि इफ एनी ऑफ द टैप इज लीकिंग, द सिंगल स्मॉल अमाउंट, द टाइनी ड्रॉप, आप जस्ट एक बकेट रख के देख लीजिएगा. आप मॉर्निंग में अपनी ड्यूटी पे गए हैं, इवनिंग में आइएगा, वहां पर आपके पास एक बकेट फुल हो जाएगी उस पानी. तो अगर बूंद बूंद से सागर भरता है और उस बूंद बूंद से आपका एक बकेट वाटर वेस्ट हो रहा है, दैट इज very wrong. So that is not a good sign for our environment. So we need to think for, and if require small amount, so go for small amount. If you require more, then you can go for more only. So this is small kind of work. We can use it at our, we can do it at our home only. So this is, I have spoken. Then the third component is your food, which is essential. Without food also we cannot survive. So we have to go for the sustainable use of food and not wasting it. Here I can give you one example of marriages and your birthday parties. Everybody is like having that flair. Okay, we will go for the party and we will go for the dinner outside home. What do? We ask for more and we consume less, and then we throw it in the dustbin. In marriages, it happens a lot. The plate is full of the food, but our capacity is not like this. We can take small amount. There is nobody is stopping you कि okay आप दोबारा नहीं ले सकते हैं, but we waste it, we throw it in the dustbin. Is it environmental ethic? No, this is not a good sign. We have to think for it. Don't waste it. Many of the people don't have any food item to eat during the night time, so that needs to be conserved. You require food only for the sustenance of life, not for the just for eating and wasting it. And we have to also focus on the local and seasonal vegetables. Why I am saying like this? Because local and seasonal vegetables are during the season, and there is less need of transportation. There is less need of preservation of that kind of item. there is less need of storage, because storage, transportation, preservation, it again requires some other kind of material. Transportation requires your fossil fuel, storage requires your electricity, preservation requires some artificial kind of thing, which is also again not good. So we need to think for it that we need to conserve our food resources for saving of the environment. Then question comes for the energy, like without electricity we cannot, these days we cannot survive without electricity, any of the energy conservation, energy resources. If we have to go to some nearby area for shopping or any other kind of activity, we cannot move by on 11 number bus. That is the thing, because we don't have habit for that. And I have seen many people, those will go to some park or some any other area. Many times I say to them, like, if you are going on vehicle to that particular area, it is petrol. Consuming petrol is one thing, toxin in the air, polluting that air, again another question. So why not do you walk near your like your home, the area where you are interested to go on foot, conserve the energy. But we don't do. In homes we enter, and I have seen now constructions are taking place, and every home and every room is like, when you enter, the switchboard is near the door, like you can switch on the lights when you are entering in the room, and when you are going out you can switch off the electricity switches. But we don't bother, because we have enough, we can spend enough. So that is the biggest reason, जितना ज्यादा है हम उतना ही ज्यादा वेस्टेज की तरफ जाते हैं. So for that we need to focus. This is small kind of gesture. Like अगर ऑन करने में टाइम नहीं लगता तो फिर बंद करने में भी टाइम नहीं लगना चाहिए. So that is energy conservation. Turning off lights, fans, and any other electrical appliances when there is not any requirement. Like here I have one example of like we everybody is having mobiles these days, and it requires charging. So what we do, we have that charging plugs. We keep our this chargers in sockets and switch on the plug. But we never switch off that. We just remove the lid from the mobiles and we go away. But do you know that that switching on that also consumes small amount of electricity? Small amount of electricity. लाइक बूंद बूंद से अगर सागर भरता है तो उसी इलेक्ट्रिसिटी से बहुत घरों में लाइट पहुंच सकती है. तो दैट इज अ थिंग, वी हैव टू स्विच ऑफ ईच एंड एवरी plug or any of the appliances if it is not in use. Now government is also doing many things. Now the fluorescent bulbs are replaced by CFLs, and then now it is with the LEDs. It consumes less of energy. It is very good that they consume less of energy and we can afford, we can use it in our homes. But still the question, if LEDs consumes less energy but we are not switching off, it is not, if not in use, then again it is wastage. So we have to do this kind of activity. Our constructions for the buildings, now architecture designs are good, like they construct buildings like enough light is coming there, the ventilation is proper. So that kind of things we can also do when we are constructing any of the buildings. If we are constructing our own homes, we can have to switch over to the buildings like where we can get the maximum amount of sunlight, so that in days time we don't need any of the electrical appliances to switch on. And like in summer season, like we use the washing machines, and I have seen my older like my grandparents and other older people, what do they do? Like in summer season they don't go for the drying of the clothes in washing machine because it is consuming electricity. So they, what do they, either they will go for the only on one number, like drying at the time of drying they will reduce the cycle. But we people, like we are educated class, so what do? We just switch on the machine and we forget, okay, let it be dry, let it run for 10 minutes for the drying purpose. But these days sun is at the peak, and you just put the clothes, within 1 hour it gets dry. So why to switch on for the drying of the machine, drying of the clothes, if it can be done with the sunlight, with the free of cost, if we can do, we need to think. for that. Another biggest reason is we are releasing the waste into the our surroundings. So at the home, we need to go for the segregation of the waste. If there is one program, Satyamev Jayate. I don't know how many of you have observed this, because Amir Khan was just hosting this program. And one program I have seen for the waste segregation. That waste segregation is like the recyclable waste should be kept in separate baskets. The kitchen waste should go in the separate, and hazards waste should go in the separate. The reason is like we can have, if at initial stage we have segregation, we can manage the waste. For example, in every home, we can have cans, bags, and water bottles, plastic bottles. They are easily recyclable. We can give it to the raddi wala. They take it and ultimately वो आपको 5-7 रुपए दे के ही जाएंगे. So that waste we can recycle. And आपके घरों में न्यूज़पेपर भी आता है, and I believe maximum of the people, they give it to the raddi wala. Nobody throws it in the dustbin. So that is a good practice. Similar kind of task, we can go for the another kind of thing like cans, plastic bottles, even our toiletries. We can switch over कि हम डस्टबिन में ना फेंक कर उसको हम रिसाइकलिंग के लिए रद्दी वाला को दे दें. That is one thing. Then kitchen waste. कोई भी ऐसा घर नहीं है जहां पर किचन में सब्जी नहीं बनती या वहां पर वेजिटेबल वेस्ट नहीं होता या लेफ्ट ओवर फूड नहीं होता. So for that, what we can do? We can convert this kitchen waste into compost, which is very good for our plants. You need not to do anything. If you have lawn, you can have one pit, put all these kind of waste in the pit, just cover it with some, you can say, dry leaves, add some kind of green part, add small brown part in it, and mix it, cover it, and forget. After 3, you will see that the kitchen waste was converted into compost, rich soil. That is good for plants, and also it is maintaining the fertility of this your soil. So that is we can do. If you don't have lawn, you can have waste containers at your homes. You can put all these waste in that, add some small amount of dry leaves. You can have waste paper at your homes. You can just tear off it and just put it in that, mix it, and keep it for 2 to 3 months. And there are many things available in the market which can just activate, or you can say increase कर देती है. So we can do. इसमें कुछ लगता ही नहीं है कि हम ना कर सकें. So we have to simply go for that kitchen waste. We should not put every kind of waste in one dustbin. We can segregate it. Then we have batteries, or electronic, and everyone is having. सबके पास ड्राई सेल्स हैं, सबके घरों में मोबाइल बैटरीज वेस्ट होती हैं, इलेक्ट्रिकल अप्लायंसेस वेस्ट होते हैं. बट व्हाट डू वी थ्रो इट इन द डस्टबिन, डायरेक्टली इन द डस्टबिन. बट these hazardous waste should not go in the dustbin, because they all having lead, and it can damage the nervous system. If anybody inhales that kind of toxins, it can damage the nervous system. So we can just segregate it, give it to Raddiwala. And many of the, like Nokia is one mobile brand, and I think it is shifted somewhere with merged with some other company. So they have very good kind of bin. They just take your old one and send it for the recycling, or they extract the toxin from that and use it somewhere else. So that kind of things we can do. But still, I am saying that at homes we have dry cells. We use it in our wall clocks and in batteries and somewhere else. So please don't throw it in the dustbin, because it works as one of the bigger pollutant, and it harms wherever it will be going, whether it is in your any of the municipal corporation bins. It is just depleting the surroundings. So don't go for that. So at homes, we can go for the waste segregation, so that we can manage it properly. Government को पैसा खर्च करके इसको waste को ना इसको reuse करवाने के लिए use करें वो, या कुछ ऐसा करें. Like दिल्ली का एक example है, Yamuna river, where the heap of that waste was lying, and by default it fell down on some of the vehicles and they got damaged. It was in the news around 9 to 10 years ago, it was in the news that the damage was like huge, because the heap was so huge that when it fell on the vehicles, so it damaged the that vehicles. And one machinery was brought from the foreign countries for dispose of the waste, and it was amounting 10 lakhs rupees, 10 lakhs rupees, and that ran only for 7 days. Just think for it. We can manage it at our homes, but government is spending so much of the money, that is again our loss through economy. This is our own money which government is extracting from us, and again asking for, okay, go for just proper disposing of that waste. That is not required. It is easily manageable at our homes. In every area, in every state, you can say, in every city, there are raddiwalas, and they can best utilize the waste. So I humbly request you people that go for the waste segregation at our own place first. Use the 3 R's approach: reduce, reuse, recycle. And now there is another R is repurpose or upcycling. New word is coming, upcycling. In reduce, we can reduce. If we don't need, just reduce the amount. If you can use it again, reuse. And if you want to recycle, Raddi wala ko diya, and you are going for the, they will definitely recycle it, using it, just converting into some other material and using it for any other purpose. But now one picture you can observe. This is the wall of a big company where the cold drink bottles are upcycled. As it was, they have utilized it for the vertical garden, and it is easily manageable. One hole only, and then you can plant small herbs in this, small kind of plants in this, where the plant doesn't have broader roots, and they don't spread, they require only small amount of soil. So we can go for this. They are releasing oxygen and also beautifying our walls. So we can go for it. In our houses also, we have many of the, you can say, glass bottles. We can keep plants in water also, so that can be easily maintainable. So we can go for the this. We have to recover our earth. We can go for repair instead of throwing it in the dustbin. If any of the appliance can be made perfect by simply repairing, so don't go for buying new one, go for the repair. If you don't need, refuse that kind of item, and better to go for the repurpose. Upcycle the things, not go for only recycling, but go for the upcycling. As it is, use it in some other kind of work. That one picture is here only. So there are chlorofluorocarbon, which is seriously damaging our environment, and this is also responsible for ozone layer depletion. You might be knowing about the ozone layer depletion and thinning of this ozone, because ultraviolet rays are coming to us, and now these days we are falling ill, we have allergic reactions, we cannot go move in sunlight. And in older time, everyone was moving on foot under sunlight, they were working, and there was no such kind of diseases. But now these days there is allergic reactions also, because ultraviolet rays are seriously very problematic. So what we can do, how I can reduce my carbon footprints? But simply, in everybody is having refrigerator at their home, we can just switch off the refrigerator for at least 1 hour per day. Just small kind of work. 1 hour के लिए आप रेफ्रिजरेटर को बंद कर दीजिए. Although refrigerators are now with the hydrofluorocarbons, they are not releasing chlorofluorocarbon to a greater extent, but still there is small amount. So better to switch off for 1 hour. We have ACs in our homes, and now these days it is very much required. So what we can do, we are in habit of keeping it at 16 degree, and साथ में हम blanket लेके सोते हैं. I think many of you also do such kind of activities. Like we have a 16-degree temperature of AC, and side by side we have blankets. So can't we do it at 24 degree and with small kind of small thin sheet that is easy to maintain, easily washable, and our electricity bill will be reduced, and less of the effect on the environment, less of the chlorofluorocarbon released into the atmosphere. We use sprays, all contains aerosol. Like we have deos, we go for the perfumes, I'm not saying that nobody should use it. फिर तो industries ही बंद हो जाएंगी. But still, we can reduce the amount of those kind of items which are seriously hazards for the environment. So we can have two options at our homes simply. Reduce the amount of chlorofluorocarbon. Keep switch off the refrigerator for at least 1 hour per day. Or your AC should work at 24 degrees Celsius, not less than this. You keep it on auto save mode also, that will also work well. So we need to walk more. If 4 or 5 people are coming from the same place and going to same kind of workplace, so they can go for the carpooling. Instead of separate vehicles, you can go for the carpooling. We can, if now these days doctors are also advising, बाइसिकल चलाइए आप थोड़ी एक्सरसाइज हो जाएगी, उससे आपकी हेल्थ ठीक रहेगी. सो वी कैन शिफ्ट आवरसेल्फ. जब हम वॉक करने के लिए जा सकते हैं, हम साइकिल भी चला सकते हैं इंस्टेड ऑफ आपकी एनी अदर 4 व्हीलर्स और 2 व्हीलर्स. एंड इफ नॉट पॉसिबल, देन यूज पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्टेशन. इफ पॉसिबल, ट्रेन ट्रेवल इज गुड एज कंपेयर टू योर बस ट्रेवल. So that will be, I think, good for the environment, because petrol is also going higher, and rates are also going higher. That is one impact on our pocket. The other one is on the environment. So better to choose judiciously. Plastic, single-use plastic. Say no to plastic. Because if I give you one example, there is in UP, I have heard this in your news only. One cow, she was like on roadside. That was a stray cow only, and she was like eating from the garbage side. And definitely we throw garbage in the and those sides, and definitely in polythene. That is single use plastic. When cow, she doesn't know what to eat, what not to eat. The intake of that whatever leftover food is there, they also consume plastic, means polythene. And one cow, she was got operated, and a huge amount of plastic was recovered from her stomach. Same for the oceans. The whales are dying because of this plastic only. So we need to think for, if not required, why to go for this? We can shift ourselves from this plastic bottles to other bottles, which is not single use. Just there is a problem of carrying only. Otherwise, there is no issue. On railway stations also, one practice was started before COVID. That was like, you can fill your bottles by just giving 5 rupees at railway stations. And that practice is now I have seen on the stations, that is again stopped. I don't know why this practice was stopped, but people were using it. So now again we are shifted to plastic bottles for traveling and for consuming the water, and for cold drinks and all that things. Although this is not good for health, but I cannot stop everyone. But we can reduce the uses of single-use plastic. If you are bringing any of the plastic bottles at your home, use it somewhere else. The empty plastic bottles can be used somewhere else. One picture I have shown you, that small kind of plants can be grown in those kinds of bottles. There are hundreds of YouTube videos are available on YouTube, DIV, from waste to good. So that can be done. And better go with the one cloth bags. When you are going for shopping, go with the cloth bag. Not ask the shopkeeper to give you material in the plastic. So that will be your act for the environment. So you have to volunteer for the environment. You have to respect the earth. You have to, like maybe many of the students are joined here. So you need paper. So go for double-sided printing instead of single-sided printing. Buy big packaging material instead of small, because plastic covering to us par bhi hai. So better to go for the big package. If you require the things, then only shop. Otherwise, don't shop. Don't bring that and expire it. That is again wastage. Again, industry has to work for that. We go for ATM machines. Now we have to go for the digitalization, and we can have many of the apps. You have Paytm, GPay, Bhim, and scan, and we can pay the things. Need not to go for, if you need cash, you have to go to ATM. So don't take that risk receipt, because there is SMS services. It tells you what amount you have deducted and what is balance there. So don't go for that ATM receipt, because that is also again paper, and paper means you are cutting the forest cover. Then tissue papers. In older times we were having hankies. Now the paper is of tissue papers. One tissue paper, it consumes your plants. Big trees. Cut trees means you are decreasing the amount of oxygen and increasing the amount of carbon dioxide, which is not good for the environment. So that we can do, and we have to volunteer ourselves. It's not for like koi farak nahi padta, but yes, it's a farak padta hai. So this is our earth. We have to preserve it. If we have the power to turn another planet into earth, I've given you example for that. Like we have Mars, and everybody's thinking for, okay, we will be shifting to Mars one day or other. That is not possible. That is not possible. So better we have to convert our earth back to the into the earth only, which can have your life supporting system: pure water, pure air, pure soil, pure food, and no toxin in its. So better to shift ourselves, do small kind of gestures. I have given you few examples only, but if you will observe at your home, you will find from the day starts, we start depleting the environment. We use many of the things in our toilets. We use in bathroom. We are in kitchens also. So that is, everything is like depleting the environment. So just try to minimize that kind of thing. Just keep earth as it was. Like पिछले 50 years तो कभी जरूरत नहीं पड़ी कि environment में करने की जरूरत है, protection की जरूरत है. Now climatic changes, you are seeing no rains on time, winters are shrinking, summers are increasing, rivers are dying, no water, there is water scarcity everywhere. प्योर एयर है ही नहीं है. अभी कोविड आप सबने देखा ही होगा, लास्ट 2 years like it went disaster for everything. So that is not required on earth. If we want to live peacefully, we want pure life, so we have to follow the environmental ethics. So we have to follow the right things only. We have to recognize what is right, what is wrong. This was my message only. So care for nature and share with. Thank you so much. And if you have any question, you can please.
It's nice to hear that. What a wonderful knowledge given you, ma'am. I hope our audience, learned many things from you from this sessions. Once again, I would like to thank you for joining us and sharing your experience, your precious time and knowledge with us also. So actually, there is a Q&A round where I want to ask some questions which is given by our viewers. So the first question is, what is the importance of environmental ethics in our daily life?
Yes, that answer is like from the presentation, you can well imagine. If we will not follow the ethics, definitely it will impact on us, impact on our health only. And if our health is not okay, then definitely there is no worth of living. That's why environmental ethics are important. We have to follow the right kind of things. So that's why it is important.
And the second question, which is asked by our viewer, is what are the principles of environmental ethics? Like what to do, what not to do.
Yes, that I have that. What to do, not to do, that we have to do only the right things for saving of the environment. Like I have given you one example of sparrow. Like if I have right, I was having that right to see that sparrow. Can't that right be given to our children? That is also their right to see that. They also need that biodiversity. They also want to see that nature. We have just absorbed pure air in olden times. They don't have any right. हमारे बच्चे खेलने जाते हैं and we say them ध्यान से जाना, मच्छर काट जाएंगे, हम पता नहीं उनको क्या क्या बाहर जाने के लिए भेजते ही नहीं है. तो हमारे टाइम में तो ऐसा नहीं था. We used to play at lot and outside, and now we are stick to indoor activities only. We are sitting and getting fatty only. No movement, ultimately affecting on our health. So that is required to be followed. The points which I have just spoken in the presentation part, that we need to follow. At our homes, we can save water, we can save our air by just not polluting them. Plant any of small sapling at your home. That can be wonderful. Don't release any of the toxins in the environment. Definitely will help the environment. I hope it is clear.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, and the third question was much related with that only, I guess. What are the methods we can do environmental ethics in daily life?
Yes, that
Like
I
in the
have.
daily life, yeah.
Yes, save water, save air, clean your city, your surrounding, plant more and more saplings, maintain them, nurture them, and if not required anything, just say no. If at any in maybe you everyone is going to somebody else home, some guests are coming to you. If you don't require water, why do you take a sip of water and waste it? If you don't seriously, you don't require that water, डोंट टेक एंड जस्ट उसको जूठा ना करके, क्योंकि उसने तो पानी सिंक में जाएगा ना उसके बाद तो. एंड इफ सपोज इन आवर होम्स इफ वाटर इज लेफ्ट, we can give it to the like plants. So by these small means, if in flushing the toilets, if you require a small of water, just use that kind of toilet system only. If you are brushing the teeth, and ये तो छोटे बच्चों को बताया जाता है कि जस्ट टैप को बंद कर दीजिए if you are brushing your teeth. If you are washing your hand, don't keep the tap on. If you are cleaning your floor, don't use pipes, instead use buckets and that mugs. If you are bathing,
Mops and all.
please don't use shower. So if you are using detergents, take organic kind of things. So that kind of things are simple, we can follow on daily basis. I hope it is clear.
And there was one more question. Two more questions are there. Like first is what are the hacks for not spreading more toxic gases which cause harm to our environment? And
Like carbon.
yeah.
Yeah, the gases are like carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and nitrogen oxide. They are the biggest reason which are responsible for, you can say, depleting the environment. Now, I want to tell you, like our vehicles, they release maximum of the carbon oxides, maximum of the nitrogen oxide, and maximum of the sulfur oxides. Same is the case with our industries. So when we are going somewhere, if you are alone, you are going, you can. If it is nearby place, don't use four-wheeler. If it is little bit far away, then again don't use four-wheeler, instead use two-wheeler. And it is very close to your home or wherever you are interested to go, it is very close. To go on 11 number bus, you can just save the environment by not releasing the these kinds of toxins.
Extra toxicness.
Yes. Then again, the thing is, in our homes, definitely we renovate our houses, we take furnitures also. Do you know these furnitures require varnishing, and that is again toxins. अगर आपके घर में सामान ठीक है और वो चल रहा है, why to go for buying new one? That is load on industry. If at your home you require small amount, you go for the bigger and throwing it dustbin after expiring the date, it is load on industry. If you require 5 or 6 clothes, garments, means a pair of dresses, we go for many more. एंड बहुत बार हम ऐसे करते हैं कि उसको एक बार सिंगल यूज के बाद हम उसको कई बार फेंक भी देते हैं, एंड हमारा शौक होता है कि ओके हमने तो शो केसिंग कर ली है, दैट शो केसिंग दैट अगेन पुट्स लोड ऑन द इंडस्ट्रीज. तो इंडस्ट्री जब चलेंगी, इट विल रिलीज टॉक्सिन्स इन द वाटर, it will release toxins in the soil, it will release toxin in the from Delhi, like nearby there is one industry area, Panipat. You might have heard the name.
Yes.
If like I am residing in Jammu University, and we have environmental science department. I also belong to Haryana basically.
Okay.
So one of my friends said, okay, you are going to Panipat, so just bring the released material from the industry, that toxins होंगे वो basically. तो आपने वहां से जो वेस्ट निकल रहा है ना, किसी जो भी कहीं से वेस्ट निकल रहा है, वो एक्चुअली वहां पर हैंडलूम का काम सा होता है, तो वहां से जो भी डाई हाउसेस से निकल रहा है ना, वो आप ले आइएगा एक्सट्रैक्ट करके. तो व्हाट आई डिड, ओके आई रिक्वेस्टेड समबडी, तो वो उन्होंने बॉटल्स में फिल करके ले आए वो यहाँ पर. And they experimented on it in environmental science department. They experimented on that kind of waste. It was found more toxin as compared to any other. Just think for it. From every factory, the waste is released into the soil. Soil के अंदर जा रहा, that means groundwater is also depleted. And in Panipat, you cannot take direct fresh water. You have to use your ROs, filters, because that is very harmful. You will find small, if you are taking fresh water, you will see the black particles inside it. And means आरओज को भी काम ज्यादा करना पड़ रहा है, उसकी भी इंडस्ट्री है आपकी, उसको बनाने के लिए, उसकी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग के लिए, द मटेरियल के लिए, हर चीज में तो आपकी इंडस्ट्री काम कर रही है. तो दैट मीन्स मैक्सिमम ऑफ द रिलीजिंग. देन फूड, वी रिक्वायर सीजनल फ्रूट नहीं हमने खाना है, हमने खाना है जो हमारे पास नहीं अवेलेबल है. दैट इज ट्रेंड कि सीजन में तो हमें गोभी अच्छी नहीं लगेगी. आई एम गिविंग सिंपल एग्जांपल कि दैट कैबेज वी विल नॉट लाइक विंटर्स, बट यस इन समर्स वी लाइक दैट कैबेज. डू यू नो दैट रिक्वायर्स स्टोरेज, एंड फॉर ग्रोथ ऑफ दैट वी यूज केमिकल फर्टिलाइजर्स इन द एग्रीकल्चर लैंड.
for growth of
एग्रीकल्चर लैंड में
extract.
आपने chemicals डाले, that is also released into the atmosphere. So again, different gases. So that is all toxins. We can reduce the amount by small, not putting load on the industries, not putting load on the automobile, not putting load on the agriculture lands. So by doing small, require जितना है reduce कर दीजिए ना अमाउंट को. रहने के लिए आपको लाइफ सस्टेन करने के लिए फूड चाहिए, आपको फूड के लिए लाइफ नहीं चाहिए. सो दैट नीड टू बी फॉलोड, और हमें गांधी जी के वो प्रिंसिपल्स को फॉलो करना पड़ेगा. वही प्रिंसिपल्स हमें सस्टेनेबिलिटी की तरफ लेकर जा सकते हैं. हमें इसको लाइफ एनवायरमेंटल एजुकेशन को लाइफ लॉन्ग एजुकेशन बनाना होगा, फ्रॉम चाइल्डहुड टू हायर एजुकेशन. एंड एवरी स्टूडेंट शुड बी लाइक इन हैबिट होना चाहिए कि ओके मैंने स्विच ऑन किया, इफ नॉट रिक्वायर्ड स्विच ऑफ. अब सिंपल सा एग्जांपल है कि एसी के मोड को हम 24 नहीं रख सकते हैं, रख सकते हैं, इट इज वेरी प्लेजेंट. आप ऑब्जर्व करके देख लीजिएगा. You don't need blankets for that. In winters, we people don't wear clothes when instead we'll go for the heaters, then load on the electricity.
For the technical branch like heaters, geysers and all.
Yes, then what we are doing? तो आपकी जो बनाने के लिए भी इंडस्ट्री पे लोड है, और आपके ब्लैंकेट्स बनाने के लिए भी इंडस्ट्री पे लोड है. एंड इफ यू विल गो टू एनी ऑफ द डाई हाउसेस, प्लीज ऑब्जर्व दैट एनी ऑफ द डाई हाउसेस, मे बी इट इज इन दिल्ली आल्सो, you will find loads and loads of toxins and gases also released into that atmosphere, yes, which is going nowhere. It is inhaled by we people only. So we have to follow that kind of. Yes, I hope it is clear.
Yes, ma'am. And the next question is next and last question. What are the things to spread greenery and stopping the pollution in environment? So you have, I guess you have said about that pollution in stopping the pollution in environment. People wants to know that what are the things to spread greenery?
Yes, you can plant small saplings, and many of the plant, if you will find, just search on YouTube, you will find many small plants. They can be grown by stem only. You need not to go to nursery for buying many of the things. You can have one plant. अगर आप लेकर आए हैं, शेयरिंग कीजिए ना आप एक दूसरे से. You can grow the plants by stem cutting only, by many of the plants by the leaves only. So if you don't want to spend money on that, go for that kind of thing. Go green simply, and don't go with the plastic everywhere. Go with the jute bags. They are also available in market. So plant, अगर आपके घरों में बालकनीज हैं, बहुत ओपन स्पेस नहीं है, हैंगिंग पॉट्स आते हैं आपके पास. बॉटल्स का एक एग्जांपल मैंने आपको दे दिया. हमारे घरों में रिफाइंड केन्स आती है, रिफाइंड ऑयल की केन्स आती हैं. इतने DIY ऑप्शंस हैं. जस्ट यू हैव टू स्पेंड लिटिल बिट टाइम and go by planting small saplings only. It will do nothing. Yes, it is pure oxygen in your surrounding. That is the simple way. Yes.
It's nice to hear that. It was very effective for our audience also. And that was a very good piece of advice. Thank you, ma'am, for answering these questions too. So again, thank you for all you attending today's webinar. And if you have any additional question, you can contact us by email or telephone, or we are happy to provide you additional support to you.